ready when you guys are.
I'm ready.
Say you are and all that stuff.
My name is Randall Callanan, RandallKallaninen, civil rights lawyer. And I'm here today with Sheketha Holman, an individual from the community, because a sheriff's deputy had a throwdown gun in his car. Now, a throwdown gun, and these are the words, by the way, of a sergeant of the sheriff's department, called it a throwdown gun. That's when an innocent person is shot and killed by law enforcement, and they throw down the gun. That's what this disciplinary action said happened. And he was initially fired because he also had not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 times discipline for not turning on his body camera, including this time when he picked up a stolen gun from a crime scene and put it in his vehicle loaded. And he was fired. However, then it was appealed to the sheriff, Sheriff Ed Gonzalez, and he was reinstated. And I believe he's a patrolman right now out there on the street. Does he have a throwdown gun loaded, ready to go? Is he turning on his body camera? What does this tell other deputies about what's allowable at the Harris County Sheriff's Department when you can have a throwdown weapon and 5 separate times not turning on your body camera? What it says, you can still have a job with the Harris County Sheriff's Department. Now, we have some officers over here, they probably don't get involved in that kind of discipline. But some do. And those ones need to go. And it lays at the feet of Sheriff Ed Gonzalez. And do we want Sheriff Ed Gonzalez to also have the power of the federal government on his side? As currently it's being decided whether he is going to be the head of ICE? I think not. Next we will hear from Jeff Reese.
Hi, my name is Jeff Reese. I'm the president of the Houston Peace and Justice Center, but I am a former sergeant with the Harris County Sheriff's Office. I've been subject myself to disciplinary proceedings, and Randall was my attorney. I don't understand what's going on, why they would allow this kind of behavior, and I think that's indicative of the problem in law enforcement. It's just unquestionable that what happened was wrong. You don't tase somebody that's in a wheelchair. You don't have a throwdown weapon in your vehicle. There's just no excuse. I can't think of any rationale to justify this. There's a case in Montgomery County where they broke a man's neck who was handcuffed. But their rationale, instead of defending their actions, they're claiming this guy was a violent felon because he was on probation. In other words, they're skirting the issue. They don't want you to focus on what's really wrong. They want you to focus over here. Kind of like, don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. However, unfortunately, law enforcement is full of people like this, and they need to be weeded out. And so I'm here to represent the Houston Peace and Justice Center, and anything I can and will do, I will stand up. And what happened is not right, so we'll do whatever we can. If you have any questions, let me know.
And I just forgot to mention the way that we got these documents is because there is a legal case pending where Sheketha Holman was in a wheelchair at the time she was injured, and she came out to see what was happening to her daughter because she got a phone call. And because she was merely filming the activities unarmed in a wheelchair, they used excessive force on her, including tasing. Tasing an unarmed woman in a wheelchair. So what we have in that case is no one was disciplined again. So there's no discipline there for excessive force tasing an unarmed woman in a wheelchair. And then they allow you to have a throwdown gun, which, by the way, is to cover up excessive force, cover up deadly force. Excessive force needs to be treated seriously. We thought something happened with George Floyd, not in the Harris County Sheriff's Department. Now, if you have any questions for Ms. Sheketha Holman.
The gentleman about the incident as far as they thought you get a job back. But what else are they saying about what should be done?
Oh, what was that again? Can you speak up, please?
The gentleman, that union that represented, that you said they had to throw down a gun?
Yeah.
Yeah, the union that backed them up on that. What did they say about it?
Well, I don't say throw down gun.
Colonel Fair.
I'll give you the guy's name.
Sergeant Thomas.
Sergeant Thomas of the
Sergeant Thomas on the president.
Sergeant Thomas of the Harris County Sheriff's Department calls it a throw down weapon. And that's when he was initially fired. Initially he was fired. Then he appealed to the sheriff himself or his representative. That's the final appeal. And when that happened, he was reinstated. And now he's back on the street.
Where does the initial case stand right now?
The initial case is we're having a mediation in a couple weeks, and if that doesn't settle, we'll be going to trial in a couple months.
And these documents came about during that?
Yes, they were revealed because one of the people who stood by and watched her get tased is this deputy, Ralton Hart. Because under the civil rights laws, an officer cannot stand by while another officer kicks or beats someone. That's called failure to intervene. So that's a crime. That's a.
What do you want to see done to this officer? What do you want the outcome to be?
I just want whatever he thought was okay to do to me going forward, whether it's take his job, but I want him to basically pay for the things that he feels like he can do as far as covering them or using excessive force on unarmed people or disabled people going forward, anyone going forward. I feel like he needs to get whatever he deserves, basically.
And it's been a few years, but how much does that play into your everyday life about what happened?
It just changes a lot, like your outlook on if you want to call 911 or if you want to intervene. But one thing it didn't stop me from doing is taking a stand and speaking up for myself, and that's what I want to encourage someone to do. So don't just stand and be quiet, but stand and have a voice.
And it's been a little while for people that might not be familiar to what happened to you. Can you tell people at home what happened to you?
Basically, I came there to just a short scenario of it. Came there because I received a phone call, got there. They had my daughter, she was 3 months pregnant, in handcuffs, ramming her stomach against the back of a police car. So I began to film them. When I began to film them, asking them for their badge numbers and going forward, what's the address here, they started attacking me. From there, it went from there.
And it eventually tased her twice, including on the ground.
Yeah, when I was passed out. When I initially got to the location where they said that I was going to be arrested, I sat there for hours because they couldn't actually take me in because my blood pressure and sugar was sky high.
If that officer is watching right now, what do you have to say to him?
I just think that you're a coward to take advantage of people that means you no harm. Someone that is trying to stand up for their rights and their rights of their loved ones, and not even just their loved ones, period. I just think that you took the law into your own hands and did whatever you felt like, and you're trying to cover it up with that different excessive force or turning off your body cam. But not only that, but God sees you as well.
What does the department say about it? What is the department doing about it? I thought they had to have their body cams on.
That is correct. It is a policy to have your body camera on, and that's why Deputy Hart received 5 separate disciplinary actions on separate occasions for not having his body camera on when he should have.
Why do you think he was reinstated?
Because the policy and practice here is not to punish excessive force and not to take it seriously. Once again, this is after George Floyd. And so what have they learned from George Floyd? Well, in May, late May, they reinstated him on the throwdown weapon.
Have they directly responded to you about that yet?
No. So, but I believe the sheriff is right up there in that office.
Could I add something random?
Oh, certainly. Hi.
Yes. Hi, my name is Hai Bui. I'm the founder of We the People Organize. I just want to add that, yes, we are asking for the sheriff to fire this officer. That's all I want to add. Please fire her again. Fire him again, Sheriff. Thank you.
Internal affairs, I know you had internal affairs involved, right?
I'm sorry?
You had internal affairs involved.
Right.
Civil service probably, right?
Yeah. In the beginning, he was fired, and I did send over the 2 pieces of paperwork that should explain the whole thing. I did attach it to the press release, so they should get both these pieces of paper. One which shows the termination, and here's the reinstatement. I sent those to all the reporters.
Civil rights, things open on this?
Yeah, the underlying case where Sheketha Holman was tased in a wheelchair and subjected to other force is still pending. All right, if you don't have any other questions,
How is your daughter doing?
This is my daughter on my shirt. She actually passed away like a couple of months ago.
Say one more time, sorry.
This is my daughter on my shirt. She actually passed away.
And was that the daughter that was involved in this?
Yes.
Pregnant? Is she a big part of why you're continuing to fight this?
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about
Not
that?
only, not just for her, but just period. Overall, you know, so that they know that they can't do this again to someone else. So what he said is true, that his job does need to be on the line and things like that going forward. What he does as a person needs to be held accountable for the things that he's done going forward.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming out in this hot weather.
Can we just get names and spellings real fast for everyone?